Welcome to the channel. My name is Matthias. Today we're going to talk about Amazing Spider-Man issue 397. And it's the first part of a 4-issue story arc called The Web of Death, written by J.M. DeMatteis. And I have to say that this story is fantastic. And it's right at the beginning of the Clone Saga. And I was really surprised because this is a very compelling story that it revolves around this very complex relationship between Dr. Octopus and Spider-Man. But I do not want to get ahead of myself, so without further ado, let's get into this story. So at the beginning of the story, we have Peter Parker Spider-Man. He has been poisoned by the Vulture. So now we have him fighting for his life on one of the rooftops of New York City. And out of nowhere, we have Dr. Octopus appear. His tentacles land a couple of cheap shots on Spidey, totally knocking him out. And we have the situation where Doc Ock contemplates on finishing off Spider-Man once and for all, and he sort of feels bad for him. He feels that it's going to cheapen his victory because Spidey is in this weakened state, but at the same time, Dr. Octopus does show a little bit of empathy for Peter. He leaves him be, hiding in the wings, ready to spring into action. We have Kane, who has been stalking Peter Parker Spider-Man and Scarlet Spider-Man. Then the story cuts to Stunner, who feels like a really cheap 90s character, especially with her design. Later on, we're going to discover more on her backstory that, at least for me, it's pretty interesting. But here, we get to see some fascinating aspects of her personality. She's really hell-bent on seeking validation from Dr. Octopus. She has him in very high esteem. They seem to be in a relationship, but she's very, very impulsive and very eager to show off her power. So we get to see the situation where she arrives at this bar. She pretty much destroys the place, and Dr. Octopus has to step in and take control of the situation. And the thing is that, like, Stunner's really worried that Otto is going to be angry, but he's sort of chill with the situation. He gives the owner of the bar like stacks of cash. He's like, just fix the place up and we'll be out of your hair. And what happens is, later on, we get this interaction between Otto and Stunner, where Otto explains that he really sees much of himself within Spider-Man, that he secretly has always admired him and feels that something has happened to Spidey, that he's really angry all the time and he's become a thug like Otto Octavius. Like, I've explained it terribly. It's very well written within the story. But the thing is that Doc Ock feels that he's a loser, that he has squandered his intelligence all his time, and that he feels that he's the other side of the same coin as Spider-Man. He does see Spidey as his equal, and that's a big deal because Otto Octavius is a guy that has a gigantic ego. So what happens is Stunner disappears. Now, it's apparent that she goes out and tries to hunt down Spider-Man, but that is actually going to be an important part of the character, that she's going to appear and disappear randomly sometimes. And the thing is that it seems that she misunderstood her whole conversation with Otto, because when she finds Spidey, she beats the living snot out of him. She's hell-bent on trying to get validation from Otto. And the thing is that when Doc Ock arrives, like, he stops her, obviously. And what happens is Doc Ock actually unmasks Spider-Man, discovers it's Peter Parker. And it seems that he's visibly moved by the fact that it seems that Spider-Man's very sick, and he decides to help him. He's going to save Peter Parker's life. So we're going to leave things here. Hope you guys liked it. See you guys next time. Bye.